What do you think? Are we all living in a simulation? Is there a higher power watching us at all times? Well, these unexplained coincidences will make you question reality itself. Next up, we have to talk about the mysterious case of Judge John Pickering, a man who predicted his own death with eerie accuracy. Now let's dive into the baffling mystery of the Mary Celeste, a ship that was found abandoned at sea with no crew on board. It all started in 1872 when the Mary Celeste set sail from New York to Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of wine and a crew of 7. But the ship never arrived at its destination. In fact, it remained missing for 4 months until it was finally spotted off the coast of Portugal. Well, if you haven't, you're in for a wild ride. Back in 1959, a group of 9 experienced skiers and hikers set out to explore the northern Ural Mountains in Russia. The signal, known as the WOW signal, was unusual because it matched the pattern of an extraterrestrial transmission. This mysterious area located in North Carolina is said to be a gateway to hell itself. Finally, we have reached the most mysterious coincidence of them all, the killing of Abraham Lincoln's assassin. Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth in 1865, but Booth was killed by Union soldiers just 12 days later. But here's the twist. The soldier who shot Booth, Boston Corbett, was actually insane and had no connection to the assassination plot. In fact, he had been declared mentally unfit to stand trial for murder just weeks before the Lincoln assassination. But here's where things get weird. Before shooting Booth, Corbett had a vision that he was destined to kill the man responsible for Lincoln's death. And get this, Corbett's father had been killed by a Confederate sympathizer just months earlier. Some believe that Corbett was simply in the wrong place at the right time, while others think that he was guided by fate to kill Booth. But one thing is for sure, the killing of Lincoln's assassin was one of the most bizarre twists of fate in history. For centuries, people have reported strange occurrences in this remote patch of land, including UFO sightings, mysterious animal deaths, and even encounters with demons. But the most puzzling aspect of the Devil's tramping ground is a circular clearing that is constantly changing shape. Some believe that the clearing is a portal to another dimension, while others think it is a sacred Native American burial site. But the truth is, no one knows for sure. But it only lasted for 30 seconds, making it impossible to study further. What makes this case even more intriguing is that the WOW signal was picked up by multiple radio telescopes around the world. And don't forget to stay tuned for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Some believe that the signal was a real message from an alien civilization, while others think it was a hoax. But one thing is for sure, the WOW signal remains one of the most debated mysteries in modern science. But their trip took a terrifying turn when they were found dead in a remote area known as Dyatlov Pass. What made their deaths so mysterious was that they had seemingly been killed by unknown forces. Their tent was cut open from the inside, their clothes were torn, and some of them had strange injuries like a missing eye. Initially, the Soviet authorities claimed that the group had been killed by an avalanche. But as more details emerged, it became clear that this was not the case. Some believe that the group was the victim of a military experiment, while others think they were killed by supernatural forces. And yes, there's even a Yeti connection. Seriously, it's one of the most bizarre mysteries of the 20th century. The ship was found in good condition, but there was not a single crew member on board. In 1937, she and her navigator, Fred Noonan, set out to circumnavigate the globe, but they vanished without a trace near Howland Island in the Indian Ocean. Despite an extensive search, no sign of the plane or its occupants was ever found. Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain what happened to Earhart and Noonan. Some believe that they crashed into the ocean and drowned, while others think that they landed safely but were captured by the Japanese. There is even a theory that Earhart faked her disappearance to escape her fame. But the truth is, we may never know what really happened to her. Now, the most mind-boggling part is that the ship's captain's wife and 7-month-old baby were still on board as well. But where was everyone? Had they been kidnapped? Did they jump ship? Or was there some other explanation? What's even more bizarre is that when the ship was found, the captain's log showed that the crew had encountered strange fog and mist, leading many to believe that the crew may have been victims of supernatural forces or even aliens. To this day, the disappearance of the crew remains one of the greatest mysteries of the sea. Let me explain. In 1721, Pickering presided over a case involving the theft of a silver tankard. The book is filled with strange illustrations of plants, stars, and even underwater creatures. But here's the catch. The text has never been deciphered, and scholars have no idea what language it's written in. What makes this case even more intriguing is that the book has already survived to fires, which is a miracle in itself. But those who have studied the book believe that it holds hidden knowledge that could change our understanding of history forever. Some believe that the book contains secret messages from ancient civilizations like the Egyptians or the Mayans. Others think it may be a lost piece of the Holy Grail. But the truth is, no one knows for sure. And during the trial, he made a shocking statement. When it comes to mysterious deaths, Elvis Presley's passing is definitely up there. On August 16, 1977, the king of rock and roll was found unresponsive in his bathroom. His girlfriend tried to wake him up, but he was already gone. Despite being only 42 years old, Elvis had struggled with health problems for much of his adult life. Prescription drug use was a major issue for him. And although an official autopsy report stated that his death was caused by a heart attack, many believe that there is more to the story. Some say that Elvis was actually poisoned, while others claim that he died from an overdose of prescription medication. And conspiracy theories abound that the CIA was behind his death. There is even a theory that Elvis faked his own death to escape the pressures of fame. However, none of these theories have been proven, and Elvis's death remains a mystery to this day. He said that whoever stole the tankard would be hanged unless they confessed their crime and returned the stolen goods. But here's the twist. Just 2 years later, Pickering himself was accused of stealing a silver teapot from a woman named Elizabeth Mills. When Mills testified against him, Pickering actually admitted to taking the teapot, saying that he merely intended to borrow it. But despite this confession, Pickering was still sentenced to death. And you won't believe what happened next. On the day of his execution, Pickering delivered a powerful sermon in court claiming that he was innocent and that his confession was coerced. He even predicted that within 40 years, someone would confess to stealing the teapot. But before anyone could believe his story, he was hanged. And guess what? Exactly 40 years later, a man named Richard McDougall confessed to stealing the teapot and returned it to Elizabeth Mills's family. Talk about a prediction that came true. Welcome back, everyone. Here are 10 of the most mysterious coincidences in history. Number 10. The case of Adolf Hitler's double. Let's face it, Hitler was one of the worst people to ever live. He orchestrated the killings of millions and is responsible for some of the darkest acts in human history. But what if we told you that he might have had a twin brother who could have changed the outcome of World War II entirely? You see, the official story says that Hitler only had one sibling, his younger sister named Paula. However, disturbing images have recently surfaced showing a boy who looks exactly like young Hitler hanging out with the Nazi elite at a beer hall in Munich in 1933. And get this, he even appears in an actual photograph taken at a private birthday party held by none other than Hermann Göring himself. What's really wild is that this doppelganger seems to vanish after 1933, as if he just disappeared into thin air. Now, some believe that this is actually Hitler's long-lost twin brother. Conspiracy theorists claim that Hitler's parents actually had twins, but they were separated at birth. And that's why the official records only show one sibling. But then where did the other twin go? Why did he disappear? And what was he doing hanging around with Nazis? Honestly, it's a total head scrtcher.no. 9. The Hanging Judge. 8. The Case of Mary Celeste. Number 7. The Mystery of the Voynich Manuscript. Next up, we have to discuss the Voynich Manuscript, a mysterious book that has baffled experts for centuries. No. 6. The Unexplained Death of Elvis Presley. 5. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. Have you heard of the Dyatlov Pass Incident? 4. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart was a trailblazing aviator who set numerous records during her lifetime. But her most famous flight ended in tragedy. 3. The WOW signal. In 1977, astronomers were analyzing data from a radio telescope when they picked up a mysterious signal from space. No. 2. The Devil's Tramping Ground. If you're into the paranormal, then you have probably heard of the Devil's Tramping Ground. No. 1. The killing of Abraham Lincoln's assassin. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Which of these mysterious coincidences left you scratching your head? Let me know in the comments below.